Hi, this is Belinda, and this is Belinda's Book Nook. And it is Friday, and I missed last week, so here I am to talk books with you guys and to play catch up with what I've been doing. I've been reading, which is exciting because sometimes I get on here and I feel really guilty because I'm like, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Um, but I have been reading, and I'll start off first to talk about this book, which is a spillover from last month. It is going to get credited for last month because I only had a little bit left to finish the book in this month. And so I'm going to, officially say it was last month that I finished it. Or actually, in my book, I will say when I date ended, but it's already written into last month's book. So I will, it'll be there where I'll see my review. I loved it. It was very, very interesting. This is The Bandit Queens by Perini Shroff. Has this really cute and very recognizable cover. Um, I liked the idea of kind of dipping into a bit of the culture in India via these Indian women that basically they come together to meet for they get these loans for businesses and things like that. And so you follow a main character, but you kind of get the backstory of these other women that are also in the group. And the main character, and I think all of this is in the back of the book, so there's no spoilers in any time I talk about the books. She is labeled the Bandit Queen because her husband disappeared, and I think it's now 5 years, and people think that she's killed him. And so there's this whole myth and legend about this Bandit Queen, and they've applied it to her. And initially she kind of was not happy about it, and then she kind of was like, okay, well, whatever, then so be it. And she was trying to move on with her life. And the story kind of follows her and these women, with various different backgrounds and different experiences coming together and trying to recruit her to take care of their husbands. And it is, although that is not like a topic that is supposed to be funny or laugh out loud funny, I laughed in this book a lot, especially towards the end. Like I was listening to the audiobook while I was cooking, and my husband was in his office, and he goes, I kept hearing you laughing. And I'm like, that's always a good sign, because some books do make me chuckle, but very rarely do they make me laugh. And so I thought that this is really, even though like the topic, and the author does talk about this in her author's note in the end about, that this isn't really, it's kind of a heavy topic, is murder, right? But she was able to make it like a very entertaining, I'll say that much. I thought it was really great, a great read for anybody to read. It was perfect to kind of go buffer between books. This would be great. It's definitely what I would consider kind of a cozy mystery, and it kept me going all the way until the end. So I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad that I did pick it up. So there's that. So I finished that. Then my sister's killing me. She's very mad now because she and I had talked 2 months ago. We planned out that we wanted to read a suspense thriller, we won't call it horror, thriller book that was written by a Black person for October. So I had picked this one. I was being sneaky because I had already bought the book a while back. And I was like, well, this is a twofer. I can read it with her, and I can read a book that I have on my shelf. And so I had this one, which is Jackal by Erin E. Adams, which has this absolutely amazing take it in cover. I think I showed it to you. This is the back, but the front is so cool because you have the face, you've got the stars, and then the scene. I don't know if you can see it good, but an amazing cover. I finished. That's what I want to first of all say, because I am a slow reader. I started with the book, and then I listened to the audio, and then I went back to the book. I flew through this. It was easy, I'd say, to get into the story. The story follows oh God, I just blanked out her name. I can't believe that. Liz Rocher, I guess is her name. She's a black woman she's was grew up in this Rust Belt small town where she was only of a few black faces, and um, she's grown up now and she's gone off. I think she moved to New York. I'm not giving you spoilers, so don't worry if you want to read it. And she's come back for her best friend Mel, who is white, her wedding. And when she comes to go to this wedding, um, Mel is who's engaged to a black man. They've already had relations and they had a child, and so the child, um, I can't say that part. Well, let's see. I'm going to try to dial back. So she comes to the wedding to see her friend, but her friend has this wedding in the woods, and this is not a spoiler for sure. The woods is a trigger for the main character because when she was growing up, they were always taught to kind of stay away from the woods, and there was a girl that had gone missing years back, and they never really got closure on that particular case. And somebody goes missing in this one, in this time, in this present time, and she's determined to find out what the answers are and who did it. It's really good suspense. The only thing that I would say that was a bit jarring for me in the middle of the book, more so than anywhere else, is the book tends to go back in time. So it is a, I won't say dual time because it's going back to different points in time in the past. It isn't exactly like sometimes you have a dual timeline, it's just two different times. This one goes to different ones, and it's not because they're different times, it's just they're different people. And so I had to kind of keep, and initially I was trying to keep track, and then I realized that you just get the gist and you can keep going with the book. You don't have to have every single name that's thrown at you. I thought it was so good, and the ending had me just, what? I will say it does have kind of fantastical elements to it. So if that's something that you're not really into, that may take away a little bit, but I still think you would really enjoy the book, and I thought it was really great. I really enjoyed the book. So, but I thought this was great, and so much so that I went online to Ernie Adams' Instagram page, and I just shot her a note. I mean, who cares? She's probably like, who are you? But I think authors like to hear that you enjoy the book. And I said, I just finished it, really loved it. Looking forward to her next book. And her next book is coming out in June of 2024. And I can't remember the name, but if you go to her Instagram, which is her name, you can find the next book that she's going to be doing. So I was actually, it is a horror slash suspense type thriller. I don't know what it is that I don't like. When I was a kid, I used to like scary movies. I used to love being scared, and it would scare me, and I'd have to put the light on. I couldn't sleep with the lights off for a while. And I even when I was younger, I read a couple Stephen King, some John Saul, some of that scary stuff. And now I'm like a big chicken. I'm still scary. As a matter of fact, like when I watch a movie that has some kind of something's going to happen, when I start, this is me, and my husband watches me from the side, and he just laughs. I start looking from the side of my face when I think something's going to happen. And then this is me. I either have a pillow, a blanket, or a collar, and I start this way, and I just keep going, peeking side, and then before you know it, it's up here, and then I'm like, tell me when it's over, tell me when it's over. And oftentimes he lies, and I look, and whatever happens is going to happen when I look. But so I am a little chicken. I think that somebody blurbed and referred to I'm getting ready to call him Jason, Jordan Peele movies. It is kind of like that. I've never watched his, but by what I've heard, the descriptions, and by what I've seen in trailers, this is kind of gives you that kind of feel in a book form, because you're like, something's not right, and she does a beautiful way of telling a fiction novel that's in the horror slash thriller genre, but at the same time, presenting real information about the inequities in terms of police, and the media, in terms of when Black children, Black people in general, go missing. The coverage is very low. And she very cleverly weaves that into this story. So for somebody that may not want to sit and read something as heavy or very historical driven, she is able to raise those issues in here, and how these people that go missing. Oh my God, I hope there's not lettuce in my teeth because I had salad. Um, okay. Side note. But she raises those issues in this book, and I think it's great because for some people that may not be aware of that, it might make them think when they watch a news story and when they watch the plethora of coverage of young white women and children, but the lack of, and it's not as if that there aren't Black children that go missing, and things like these occur. It's just they're not get covered the same in all instances. And so I think she did a great job of weaving that into the story, and also the treatment of the mothers, that are of the victims in these particular cases. So it was really good. I think it's definitely worth a read. I enjoyed it, and I definitely was a little scared, like what's going to happen, what's happening here. But it definitely kept you, like it kept you really like, it was definitely what they call a page turner. So I'm so happy because I just came off the Bandit Queens, which made me laugh. This one made me go, oh my God, oh my goodness, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And then I thought I knew, I always think I know who did it, but I was wrong as usual. So, I was like, oh, I got this one. My husband goes, oh, sure. So I knew, I should know, I should by now that I never get them. Okay, so that's my big win so far. Now, what I have started next, I'm playing with fire here because I missed the last book club meeting because I thought the date was another date when we're going to have it. I didn't want to start this next book. This is until we get further in the month because I want it to be fresh so that I can have a good discussion. I don't have to go, did he ask a question? And I go, well, who was that? I mean, I write notes, but sometimes still there's things that we could discuss that I just didn't. It just kind of went through and it's gone. So I'm trying to save this because it's a very short book. And I think that I am capable of reading this fast. Pardon me. I think that I'm going to wait for this one until next week, right? So this weekend, what I think I'm going to work on and probably try to see if I can, we'll see, if I can finish this between now and say Monday, and that's Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. This one, I did start it already. This is the one I told you about that is like these people go to this cafe and they can go back in time and see somebody, but they can only go back in that time for the amount of time that their coffee is hot. Once it gets cold, they'll return. I just started it. It's very, very bizarre, and we're just kind of like trying to go with it. And then I believe the way that this is set up, if I look at the chapters in this, is it's different stories. So it starts out with, no, I thought I saw that. Yeah, I think it has, let me just go really quick to look and see for all of you who haven't read it yet. Yeah, it's 4 different stories. Like, so 4 different stories where these people are going to the cafe to try to go back in time and what happens. And so I'm really intrigued because the question is, if you could go back, who would you want to meet? I would go meet my mom. If I was given the choice, I would want to go see my mom and talk with her and spend a little time. So I think that it's interesting. I want to see what they do with this. And like I said, this is part of a series. I think there's three books, and the fourth is coming out, or there's 2 books and the third. I feel like it's the 4th book coming out. So I will have to, if I do like this, I will go on to the other ones. But it just, this is another, I'm not going to call it, it is a light read or a fast read, but I feel like it's going to be one of those little books that make you think. So we'll see what happens with that. So there's that. So this is the plan for the weekend, is to work on this and see if I can get through this and get it done by Monday, so that I can start this one for book club next week. And that will give me enough time, provided that the meeting, which I still have to confirm with Dee Dee, is that I could have this done and ready by the last Sunday of this month. So that's my goal for that. Now, if I should be on a roll and these 2 books just, whiz by and I go woo, woo, and I'm like, yeah, I got it, right? If that happens, I am going to be all over this, okay? Because I did start it, and then I said, wait, I stopped it. I said I wanted to get the Jackal done, which my sister's mad because I finished it already. We usually, we will talk about it at the end of the month, but what we usually do is each week, like, we'll check in and we'll have like to read to a certain point and we talk about it. But I try to go, I don't know, I really want to like show up for my book club this month, so I just gotta keep things compartmentalized. So I'm just gonna do one at a time. So I'm doing yours now, so I'm done with that. So I'm going to keep all that in my head to be able to talk to her about that at the end of the month. But if I have enough time, this is happening. I've had this book, it's getting old now. This is Akata Witch. Sorry, I got the little book thing on it. And it's by Nydia Okorafor, and I think this is a perfect October book. So I want to read it. So we'll see if it happens, and if it does, I'll have had a really great reading month. It's just we'll see how fast I am. It's just, things come up and they don't. One other thing I wanted to mention, since Friday is always like just a crapshoot, I can talk about anything. When has that ever stopped me in any other video? But Fridays are always special for that. What is the name of it? I wrote it down in my phone. Leave the World Behind. I read that book. I think it's by, I don't remember the name of the author. It was written about, do I have my other, I might be able to look it up in here. I want to say it was 2 years ago I read it. I don't think it was last year, it was the year before. Anyway, I read this book. It was the big talk of the town. Everybody, let me see if I can find it while I'm talking to you. And everybody was like, this is such a great book. And it was the first time in a while that I read something that I totally just didn't agree with the masses. And I really just feel conscious about, I don't want to bash anybody's book when I'm when I'm online, because they could see it too, Let me see if I can find it while we're talking. So I remember, I didn't have kind things to say. Here it is. It's by Rahman Alam. Let me see if I can get a big picture. Oh, great. Did I click the one that doesn't have a big picture? Oh, well, that's just not good. Hold please again. Hold please. We're gonna go back and let's see if I can find Amazon's or Target or somebody's, because they'll have one. Maybe Target's will do big. So anyhow, why I mention this is because I was watching TV. Here, this is what it looked like. You might remember seeing it like this. You see the cover? It was all over BookTube, all over the place. Everybody was really into it and reading it. And oh, I never noticed those there. Anyway, those are the little magnets, huh? Anyhow, so I found out that the movie has been made now, and I knew when it came out and I did the review, they had made they said somebody bought the rights, so it was going to be made into a movie, and I was like, and this is what I believe I said. If we go back to that video, which I don't know what video, how long ago, it's a while back, but for those of you that might remember that video that have been with me that long, I think that I said it would be better as a movie, because I think he missed the mark in the book. The ending was unsettling to me. I don't have to have things tied up in a bow, but I need to have some kind of sense. And I couldn't make sense of it. And I felt like that forced me to go back and re-examine and be really critical of things that were presented in the book and things that were said, that I just was like, whatever. And then I found a person that really ripped it online, and I watched her video, and I agree with a lot of the things she said, but I would never have said those things online about the book. And so now I'm really curious because I saw the trailer. And the trailer, you know, are teasers. So the trailer sounds better to me than the book. So I'm curious. And it's got big names. It's got Julia Roberts. It's got Kevin Bacon, Marshall Ali. It has, oh, what's the other guy's name? Several people, you know, big names that are in it. So does that lend credibility to it? Potentially. Sometimes there's bombs when you have movies that have like 6 million famous people. So we'll see how it plays. I think it would be better in that format. I think in a book it was, for me, I didn't like that kind of ending, and I want to see how they handle the ending in the book. I mean, in the movie, and how they handle some of the details in it, and the little nuances. Will those be in there? Will the characters be verbalizing? Would you know what they were thinking in the book, or will they be acting it out? Will I want to see how I react to this. I'm definitely going to watch that. I don't know if I'm going to get to it this weekend. I don't know if it's out this weekend or if they just said it's coming to Netflix. So that was something. I don't know if any of you, let me know if any of you have read the book, and if you're going to watch the adaptation, because it's always interesting. Books are usually better. This is the instance that I'm thinking it is going to be the total opposite. But it also might vindicate my disagreeing with this book if the movie bombs, you know. So we'll see. I mean, they could have brought it to theaters, but they just brought it to Netflix. So there's one thing, but we'll see what happens with that. So other than that, I'm looking forward to the weekend. I was originally going to go to the Boston Book Festival. I've gone every year that they've had it, since I've known about it. And to be honest, this year there were only 2 people that I thought, one that I was really interested in, but the other, I mean, it would be like I would go see them because I'm there. The rest of the authors were books that I don't know, not interested in. And so I was really like, then I was going to go, and I was like, well, I'll just go and bookshop, as if I need to fill my bookshelves anymore. But I don't think I'm going to go. We actually have to do some stuff to help my brother-in-law, so that's going to trump that and take priority over it. But I'm really just disappointed, and I wish I could express to them that I feel like, I need to see more people of color. There's more authors of color, and if you look at the whole scan of it, it's just not as diverse as it's been in the past. I've also had some really great luck with some really amazing young adult authors. Last year I got what's his name's book, because everybody was going wild when I went there, and I don't even see it. Actually, I think it's in my list for one of the male authors. I forgot the name, but he was there. Tochi Onyebuchi, is that his name? He was there. The author of, what was the other book that I had? I'll tell you the name of it too. It was a very good book. Here, she just, hold on. These are the types of authors that were there. These are young adult authors, but Brandy Colbert, Charlotte Nicole Davis, and then I got that when I went the last time I think I got her next book. Where are they? I don't know. So I'm a little disappointed, to say the least. So I feel weird not going, because it's like been a ritual that I'd like to go to it. But now I'm like, well, but why? And I really want to give them feedback and be like, bring back the diversity, bring back more of these other, young adult authors that have some really great stuff. There's a lot of people, I don't know what the deal is, so it might have just been timing or conflict, but it didn't look appealing. I looked at it several times trying to find something that I wanted to go see. And the topics of the panels are like, meh. So, yeah. So I'm not going to do that this weekend. We are going to go help out my brother-in-law, and then I will probably watch some football, and I'm going to be really working on getting this one done. And also still cranking away at this. I'm really making some substantial progress. So I really think, I don't want to jinx it, but I feel like by December I will have this completed, and I'll be really happy because of all the years that I've done it. This is the furthest I've gotten. Usually I get so behind and I just stop. This one, I definitely think it's doable, and I'm excited. And then I got to start doing my research because I got to figure out what my next book is going to be that I'm going to get, my next journal. This one is definitely getting worn. It's getting lotion marks and sunscreen marks and food marks, and I don't really mind as much as I used to. It's lived and loved, so we will see. But I'm going to try to get that done, and hopefully I'll be starting this next week. So next week I'll be able to tell you how I think this is, and hopefully what I thought of this and how this is going. So we'll see how that goes. And I'm also working on a vlog. I had one that I was going to do for you guys. Let me be honest with you. It was a spring one. We are now officially, I don't know, we're almost in winter. We're in fall. I feel weird putting up a spring one. So I may just skip it, even though I'm so mad because I have footage and I really wanted to do it. But I want to do my fall one. So I did some stuff that I want to do, present that way. So hopefully I can get that done for this month. We'll see. I have a bad track record for that, but there's always room for improvement, right? There's no way but up from here. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. I hope you guys are well. Let me know what you're reading. Let me know if you are going to watch the Leave the World Behind on Netflix, and if you've read the book. And I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.